What happens when one staircase becomes a 250,000 pounds architectural intervention? Today we're talking about this project in London for the same repeated client. We've done his villa in the Palm. It has a similar function of spaces, so we have around 40 spaces. However, the one in Dubai is 1,000 square meters more. What do you think we're going to keep from the things that we were very successful at achieving in the project in the Palm? And then later we can talk about what we're going to change.
I think what you touched on there was the fact that the house that we're doing in London is 1,000 meters smaller, that has the same amount of spaces. So that just goes to show that the spaces in houses or properties in London are generally much smaller. So that's one of the restrictions that we have to face while we're doing the design. The other restriction, of course, is that it's a grade 2 listed facade, which we have to take into consideration, because that gives us various restrictions on the design, both externally and internally.
We have to be more creative with the materials maybe, because some of the things that we really wanted to do with the facade, we're not able to do it. But still, this gives us a challenge and at the same time an opportunity to play with materials and still make it look as interesting as we want it to be.
Yeah. And it's a 200-year-old property. I mean, that gives us, also the opportunity of balancing a new intervention with an older building, which always looks interesting because we can start playing with interesting glass extensions and things like that, that people generally do when they're doing extensions in London.
It's around 6 stories. So when we reached there was a dilemma about the staircase. Can we talk about when we first reached and saw that staircase, that as soon as you open the door, you see the staircase in front of you, which is most of how London houses are, and what kind of decision we wanted to make? Yeah. What did we want to do with the staircase originally?
As you said, central London property, usually the staircase is in the main entrance. It's the usual thing when you open the door. It's in close proximity to the entrance lobby. In this situation, we saw the existing staircase a little challenging because of its structure. It's an old timber construction staircase. We wanted to take a little bit of what we had done for the family in the villa on the Palm by creating a very open sort of space. What we thought immediately is that what if we actually relocate this staircase to another part of the house? That would free up a large open area in the entrance, which would also then allow us to create a double height space.
Correct. And also you have, now the staircase is separate from where the elevator is. So we combined both the staircase and the elevator. And then this gives you a better opportunity to have this double height space to connect between the 2 floors.
It also allowed the staircase to be a better feature because we had slightly more space. We created a more wider staircase, better designed.
Better material. We can use like really nice contemporary materials. Yeah. It gives us a better chance
because
to do that.
The existing one was wood and the new one can be concrete construction, which, as you said, allows us to use marble treads and risers, which creates a better looking staircase. And combining the elevator with the staircase creates this sort of circulation niche, allowing vertical circulation between the building and also having this double height space. So once we get to the first floor, we can create this really open sort of area connecting all the rooms.
So you will still have that wow factor as soon as you enter the house. You have this small space, however, it has like some story to it, which we can discuss. And then you can see right as soon as you enter, you can see that there is something really interesting happening at the double height, where this is a similar effect to what we did in the Palm Jumeirah villa. Yeah,
because we maintain the entrance area, and then it takes us beyond into this double height sort of foyer. We keep the wow factor. Obviously, the first wow factor is that when you walk into the double height space and you see, maybe the feature chandelier that we're going to put in the space.
I can't wait for that blue feature chandelier.
Okay.
The certain shades that I have in mind as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look great. And the grand fireplace.
The fireplace in the entrance. That's
You were insisting on that large fireplace.
Yeah, for several reasons.
Okay.
Well, one of them is that it's going to be created from limestone, double height. Another reason is it gives the sort of feeling of entering an English gentleman's home. There are going to be other features in that area, such as the mosaic feature
the
flooring.
mosaic, I can't wait for that.
And that's supposed to kind of replicate...
the ombre or gradient effect and the silver. These are all things, and he loves blue.
Yeah.
He loves...
green as well.
Green as well. Where are we adding the green? Are we adding it in the powder room, correct?
Yeah.
The powder room is going to have a really nice green color, which he always wanted in the palm, and we didn't get the chance to do the same color that he wanted because that space is large in the palm, and when you put too much green in it, it's not going to be as flattering as it is in the powder room now in London.
We were using a lot of green on the villa in the palm, so we tried to switch to blue this time in the main sort of larger spaces.
As soon as you enter, we will have this glass paneling on the left side. One of the things that I think we should discuss is what are the requests of the wife as opposed to the requests of the husband.
The husband wants an office as soon as you enter on the ground floor, because that's where his guests are going to come in. He's going to have meetings. It's also going to double up as a prayer room, which is very important for him. Yes. And his guests.
Yes. He likes artworks with calligraphy and them, so I think we're keeping that. He was in love with the door that we designed in the palm, so now we have to make something as interesting.
Even better. Yeah.
And maybe even better.
Yeah. However, we have the restriction that it has to look like the existing door from the outside, which is a traditional Georgian panelled wooden door from the outside.
Correct. So also the proportions that we have now, we can play on it from the inside because we can make the door look like a higher door from the inside, but from outside we can't do that much.
Yeah.
Because it's listed. He required to have around 4 different suites for each one of the children and a guest suite. However, the wife was more interested in the function of the space. As soon as you enter, where you're going to be putting your shoes, where you're going to be putting your coat. Yeah. The kitchen is a very important feature for her. And how we're going to be like, we have to imagine how when the guests arrive, since the dining is not in the ground floor, it's in the first floor, which is 2 floors above from the original kitchen. The original kitchen is in the basement. So for her is how am I going to transfer the food from the basement to the first floor without also bothering the guests while they were there. So these are things that we had to discuss and think about solutions for. There was an idea of having a dumb waiter, but that didn't work.
No, didn't work because of the architecture of the house. It proved difficult to sort of find the right placement for the...
To do the dumb waiter, they had to compromise a lot of the things. The location of the ground floor kitchen, which is really nice now because like you go down and the kitchen, there is an easy access with a very good daylight for the main kitchen. The main kitchen, we divided into 2. There is the dirty kitchen in the basement, and there is a very nice kitchen where they can have the family breakfast, their main family meals in that kitchen.
So the husband also had the similar requirements for his gym facilities in the basement.
Correct.
As the villa in the Palm.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean...
We're just adding a yoga room in this one.
We're adding a yoga room,
with a skylight on it. Yes.
We discovered with time that there are specific materials and textures and colours that the family or the husband in particular really like or prefer. Mm-hmm. And I think we perfected that on the villa on the Palm with the use of certain stones and colours, because it turns out that he doesn't really like that much contrast, but he always likes to throw in that pop of colour here and there. And he likes the stone that we used so much that he doesn't mind repeating the same stone
even though
again.
it took us months to figure out the perfect white stone for his house. We went through several factories with him, with his wife, and we came back to that stone, which has the shade of color he likes. It doesn't have a lot of veins, and it gives the luxury effect that he's looking for because it still has that kind of depth. And he requested to use it again in London house, which I think we're going to do that.
Yeah, the stone
and also
for the
the
flooring
white wood,
and
the white wood,
stone, limestone
the white wood stone
for the walls,
yes.
which was really nice.
He wanted to repeat that
Yeah.
in London house.
Because originally we had sort of specified Supergente, which was a darker version of the white wood on more of the walls in the villa. But then we sort of swapped it last minute
Correct.
for the white wood, and which turned out much nicer.
Yeah. You designed around 20 customized handles in this palm villa. Correct? Do you imagine to do the same in London house?
I think we don't have to design as many handles, but there will definitely be a lot of bespoke details that are going to be happening on a lot of the joinery.
Yeah. In terms of furniture, what do you think is going to be different in London house from the palm?
I think
we have a limitation with the space. I feel we can be more bold with our choices. What do you think?
I mean, I think the client and this project is not really about trends. So although we've moved 5 years on from when we designed the project on the palm,
of course, it still has to be timeless.
It has to be timeless. But there are many things that you picked up with your visit to Milan with the client.
Yes. And I found that he's more comfortable with using a variety of material now because he's trusting us more. So whenever because the first time we presented to him the material for the door, he was hesitant and we kept on insisting on it. And even the marble at the entrance, he was not sure that he should use such a loud marble. And then it became a main feature of the house, both of them, and he's very happy with it. So this time, whatever material we are presenting to him, he's easier in approving it and accepting it.
Yeah.
And he's more excited about how we're going to apply it in the project.
I mean, he's got a lot of high expectations from what he received, and we obviously have to match up to that. What do you find is easier this time?
I honestly feel that London project is not easier. I think it's the same level of details, and the fact that it's there is a lot of spaces and they're quite small, so you need to have that kind of openness, work with the light. There is a lot of lighting design decisions that we need to do to cover up for the areas that they don't have the natural light whenever it's because in London it's really dark in winter.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of things that I think is going to be a little bit of more work in terms of design.
Definitely.
In London.
And we're going to
house.
solve them together with our lighting designer.
Correct.
Like we did last time.
Correct. So going back to the staircase, this was the original decision that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then the client, he's the type that he keeps testing our, if we really did the right decision. It's built in him.
Yeah.
So he came back and after approving our idea about this open space, he came back and he said, okay,
I think, listen, we take the staircase out. Let's just go with it.
but what if we reconsider keeping the staircase and adding the elevator where it is, and we still have this open space on the left side of the house? So this is where when we visited the house and stood in front of that staircase, and we kept thinking about it again and again, then we realized that even if we keep that staircase, we might end up spending the same amount of money and not reach the result that we're looking for.
The amount of changes that we have to do to the existing staircase would be just as much, almost. It would swallow up half of that budget probably.
Yeah. So this made us more comfortable with the decision that this £250,000 is a correct investment, is going to add a lot to the space. When you do that and you resolve the issues of it and you have all this open space, the value of the property itself is going to be much better. What do you think?
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's going to reflect.
It is an investment. However, you get a good quality of space. And in the long term, it's also a good investment because this could double up the property value.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we partially had the final decision in our heads already before we made that trip. But once we landed, it became clear to us when we saw the real space.
So if we keep it,
Yeah.
how much he's going to spend? He's going to spend to reach the same level of quality that we're looking for. If we keep the staircase where it is.
Yeah, he would probably need to spend 100 to 150,000 pounds
Okay.
on the staircase to fix it.
And it's not going to look as nice, and you're not going to have the same
No.
quality of the space.
No, because
it's not going to add on the property value.
Right. And you're restricted on doing things to that staircase because, as I said, it's timber construction. So you can't really clad it with marble or anything like that.
So the right decision then is,
The right decision was to move the staircase, and that's the decision we took. And the client was completely convinced with it.
In the Palm, the client was a bit hesitant with some of the materials, but now that he's a repeated client and the fact that he trusts us, what are we going to do with that?
I mean, I think, you know, the fact that he trusted our decision on moving the staircase was because we made a decision on the Palm, which was to cut out a slab.
And it
on
made
his
a
upper
huge
floor.
difference on the
Yeah.
quality of the space. So that's why he's really trusting us.
Yeah, he was
on all the
reluctant at that
architectural
decision, if you remember, in the beginning. But once he saw the difference that it made to
He
the
keeps
space,
thanking us for this decision.
he does, yeah.
Yes.
And we knew it was the right decision.
So this time it's easier, you think, in London?
I think it's going to be the fact that we know the family. We've worked with them for 4 or 5 years. We know their tastes. We know their dislikes and likes.
I'm happy with the trust.
Yeah.
And the trust is going to make it a lot easier for us
Definitely.
to put all the dreams
I
that
think
we
what
have
it does, it tries to,
for this
it will help
property.
us make the process a little faster maybe.
Correct.
But what it also means is that whatever we do has to live up to what we've done for him already, if not surpass it.
Yeah, that puts a pressure.
Yeah,
We're up for
Yeah.
it. We're up for it.
definitely.